In this episode of Silent Diver TV, we're going to be taking a look at the assembly of a decompression bottle and the stage kit that goes on it. The stage kit is going to allow us to secure the decompression bottle to our body during our dive. You'll notice that we're starting out with a standard cylinder. We have a visual inspection sticker on it that is currently valid. You'll notice part of the assembly includes that there is no nitrox stickers on here. Even though we're going to be using a higher blend than 21% oxygen, we're going to stay away from the nitrox stickers just to avoid complexity and on the sticker markings, so when we're looking at it underwater as a diver, we're not confused by a load of stickers. This process is going to start out with an empty cylinder. You'll notice the only labeling that we have on it at this time is our visual inspection sticker. We also have the aluminum cylinder, scuba cylinder safety guidelines provided by Catalina. Now, from a tool perspective and a material perspective for what we're going to need, tool-wise, we're going to need a pair of scissors, flathead screwdriver, and all the items I'm about to show you are all included in the Halcyon stage kit. So we can buy these all pre-assembled, or you can get them as individual pieces. You'll notice that we have a metal cam strap covered in a piece of nylon webbing. We have a small piece of nylon webbing that's going to cover the bolts for the cam strap. We also have a piece of rope with surgical tubing and 2 clips. These clips are the parts that are actually going to secure it to our body while we're diving. In addition to that, we have 2 maximum operating depth stickers. So since we're using a 70-foot sticker, that means we're going to be dealing with a 50% stage bottle. In addition to that, we have 2 stickers for the initials of the diver this tank's going to belong to. Those will identify it from other people's stage bottles. We also have a big piece of rubber band. This is going to allow our reg assembly and our hoses from our reg to be secured to the cylinder so they don't dangle, so we maintain good trim during our dive. Now, for the purpose of this, our rope piece and the clips as well as the surgical tubing have already been assembled. On the end we have a large loop. This loop is going to go over the top of our valve. Now, when we're putting this on, we're going to want to think about where this is going to want to sit on our body. This bottle is going to sit on the left-hand side of my body. We want the valve facing up. So we want the snips and the bolts on the same side as the valve, probably at about a 45-degree angle and halfway between the valve and then the valve top. We're then going to take our cam strap, take the small cover for it, and we're going to slide it over the top. And this cam strap is covered in the nylon webbing to avoid the metal-on-metal contact while we're underwater. I'm not going to worry right off the bat about the positioning or how tight this is, because once I get this on, I'll deal with that. Frequently with the cam straps, you'll find it a lot easier to start the process by hand before bringing in the screwdriver to tighten it down. I get this slightly tight, but not all the way, just tight enough so it can still move around, but stays in position. As we get it a little bit closer, we can tighten and move that cover over. We don't want the screw exposed, because when the screw is exposed, it gives us something that we might brush our arm against and resulting in a cut in our arm. To position this properly, I'm going to pull this as tight as I possibly can. With it being pulled tight, bring the cam strap all the way in until it's nice and snug. Nice and tight. And we'll move on to our next step. We're going to take our large piece of rubber. We're going to cut this into 2 pieces. This is going to be used to secure our hoses again to the side. We're going to cut it pretty much straight down the middle. Some people choose to only leave it as a single piece. Personally, I like it as a 2-piece unit. Now, these can be a little difficult to get on the first time because as they haven't been used before, they're still pretty tight. I'll bring one in from the top. going to come down about an inch from the curve in the cylinder. The next one we're going to bring up through the bottom. We're going to come over the top of the cam strap. At this point we have our stage kit assembled. The only thing that we really have left to do now is we want to put our maximum operating depth stickers on here. Now, we want two stickers on here. One is for ourselves to see the bottle and what the blend is in it. This becomes extremely important when there's multiple stage or deco bottles involved in this situation. The second sticker is going to face away from us, and it's going to face towards where our buddy would be. This allows our buddy during our dive to also see what the gas is. And if we're dealing with multiple decompression bottles, it's going to allow us to show the gas mix to our buddy to confirm that we are about to switch over to the right tank. There's somewhat of an art to getting these on properly. I'm not the best at it in the world, but I've gotten significantly better with the more of these that I've assembled. We're going to put the sticker about halfway between the two rubber straps. Peel the backside off. Now, the biggest problem that people have with getting these to look right when they put them on is they try to go top to bottom instead of side to side, which results in bubbles forming in them. And then, of course, there's the magic of making these sit straight. Once we have it straight on and we're happy with it, I'm just going to use my finger to slowly push any air that might be trapped underneath of it. Now, this is the sticker that's going to be used for ourselves. It's going to face towards us when we're diving. Like so. And the second sticker is going to go on the opposite side of the tank. And I'm going to try and line this up as best as I can with the other one. Doesn't need to be perfect. But since this one's for a customer, not for me, I'm going to try and make it as perfect as I can. Again, I'm just going to use my finger to push any air bubbles under there out. And you'll see that we now have our bottles assembled. So now our buddy can easily see the gas mix we're using, as can I. Now the last thing that we have left to do is identify this bottle from somebody else's bottle. We're going to use our letter identification. Just put the initials on it. Now for me, I use the visual inspection sticker and put them on the opposite side. Lay it down for this part. And just for aesthetic purposes, we want to make sure that the letter stickers are facing in the exact same direction, of course, as the number sticker. And avoid the problem that I always do to myself of putting them in backwards order. Because then obviously instead of having FB as initials, we're going to have the F. We're going to come off the bottom a little bit as we're applying these so they don't get dragged around on the ground. They tend to get beat up a little bit more if they're right off the bottom. Again, we're just going to use our fingers to slowly push out any air pockets that may form while we're applying the sticker. And we have a nicely assembled decompression bottle. This process becomes a whole lot easier if you're using the stage kits that come with the rope already taken care of for you. And that's all for this time. We'll see you next time. We'll have another topic for you. Thanks for joining us.